Welcome back to another episode of ROC Boys Football. Today we are here breaking down day 2 of the NFL Combine. Running backs, offensive linemen, a lot of opt-outs from the workouts. But we're going to start with the running backs first. Before that, appreciate all the support we've had on the channel. Two brothers talking ball. You guys have been just absolutely awesome with the support, the subscriptions, the likes, the comments. Love it all. Let's get into some football. 40-yard dashes for the running backs. Two guys I want to highlight at the top of this, maybe three. Pierre Strong, 4.37, an FCS guy, showing that he can hang athletically with the big dogs. I mean, that is a good wide receiving 40. This guy's really smooth in space. He's big too, 210 pounds. Dill, you've seen a little bit about him. What do you think of Pierre Strong in his draft stock?
I mean, I guess to me, he's still a fringe.
Yeah, maybe. Fringe guy.
If anything, he's going like 6th or 7th round is kind of where I see it. I don't think he was good in the FCS, but he wasn't untouchable or anything.
Yeah,
he wasn't like when you see a prime Adrian Peterson at Oklahoma, he didn't look like that. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't see him as I don't see it vaulting him up.
I think it vaulted him up from like a UDFA to like because that is some serious burners, like 4.37.
Yeah, maybe puts you in the fringe, and whether you can use him as a weapon in other ways, then be a.
And he's a smooth guy. He's a smooth runner. I like his game a lot. I think he's going to be a good day 3 selection for a team. Another guy, Kenny Walker and Breece Hall. They actually updated it. Breece Hall gets jumped by Kenny Walker, 10th of a second. So pretty much the same time, but I think they both answered a little bit of questions about that breakaway speed. I know you're going to push back a little bit about it, but two guys that do they have that long speed to take a run that might be 30, 40 yards to a 70-yard house call. Breece Hall, Kenny Walker, in my opinion, answer the bell a little bit. Again, that's like Chris Olave time right there. Those are some.
In my opinion, Kenny Walker always had it. Like I thought he had when he hit a hole, he went through it, just looked faster, it looked more explosive, even on a slow field at Michigan State with the grass and in the rain and all that. I'm just remembering the Michigan game. He was running by safeties relatively easily, it seemed like at times. And I don't know, Breece Hall, he hit some big plays, but what I think a lot of it was because he was a good guy breaking tackles in short areas.
Yeah.
And that seems to be how he hit plays. It wasn't him blowing by people as much. I think what you've always mentioned is his elite contact balance,
dude. Unbelievable
ability to make guys miss in short areas.
Yep,
that's what produced big plays for Breece Hall. I didn't see it like a Dalvin Cook where he was just had a gear that he could get into that was blowing by guys.
And he ran that's a faster time than Dalvin Cook ran his 40.
It's a good time, but it is a good
time, but you didn't see it on the film as much. I agree, and so there's that balance of he has the gear, and at least the 40 time shows he has the gear, but you didn't necessarily see that on the film. So I think it helps his stock a little bit because that is some serious speed. That is top end wide receiving 40-yard, that's fast. And
but you got to put it on the field. That'll always be my contention with you is I don't care. It's I don't care if you run fast on the 40. You've got to be able to do it on the field and play fast. And
is there
an Antonio Brown who's runs and does everything unathletically on combine type stuff, but then looks like the fastest guy on the just looks in a different gear. That's kind of how you still got to be able to do it. You got to be able to play. And
is there an element of you thinking, okay, he might have that gear. It might be there. We didn't see it in the 3 seasons he was at Iowa State, but does that help his stock when you're saying okay, there you see it though? You see he might have it. Is that something that plays a role in your mind?
I mean, when you're him, you gotta play with it. I guess it's there, but it's and I'm not taking him down. He's still a top 3 running back at least. Indisputable. He's probably 2 on my mind.
Yeah, Kenny,
so it's not I'm try hating on, but what I'm saying is I don't think this is boosting him in front of Kenny, who I think
who ran faster than him,
has a little more gas in the tank and played with more gas in the tank and was more explosive on the field.
And Kenny Walker's a guy who I think could make people miss clean. like at the second level, like making linebackers, making safeties miss pretty clean with that short area quickness. Whereas Breece Hall, yes, he has short area quickness, but it's more like I'm absorbing contact and moving through it. And it's harder to break off longer runs when you have to absorb the contact and bounce off somebody, as opposed to like I'm gonna stick my foot in the ground, make you miss, and just get going. Kenny Walker.
But in conclusion, these are two great backs. Like again, I don't want that to like get lost in this little combine debate because they're two incredible players.
Let's talk about our guy, Zeus, Zamire White, top 10 high school prospect.
Oh, you haters! Oh, he's stiff, he's slow, blah blah. Like he's good, and I'll never get the people who just blindly seem to be hating on Zamire White and saying he's not like a draft pick. Like he's
a draft pick, absolutely.
A third to fifth round back to me. Frankly,
I like Zamire White too. The one problem, and you see him and James Cook grouped together similar 40 times, which might surprise some people. Like, oh, James Cook looks faster. James Cook is smoother. James Cook is very, very good changing direction. He's smooth in the open field. But Zamire White, I mean, the dude has tree trunks of the legs. He's explosive as heck. And that's why you see a fast 40 time. Like when he's getting going in a straight line, he'll run right through you. But he also just hit a hole and beat a safety on the angle. Like he is a very, very fast shot out of a cannon. That's what you see the 40 time. The worry you have with Zamire White is we just talked about Kenny Walker's ability to make people miss with that short area quickness. Zamire White's stiff. He doesn't really have that. He can't really stick his foot in the ground and get going in a different direction like a Kenny Walker can. That's something was, in my mind, pulling back his stock a little bit. But hey, if you're a team Zamire White guy like the ROC Boys are,
it's a little like confirmation for me. Like, all right, I'm not like seeing crazy.
And that's what we said. I remember texting each other like months ago saying like, Zamire White is faster than people give him credit for. Like, he's a fast dude. He's just not as jittery as some people would have liked.
But he's also 230 pounds.
Yep. Looking forward. Jerry Ely, I know we're gonna disagree with this, but like his game is being great in open space, and he is a jittery guy. With that a short area quickness, making people miss. But the 4.52, like I thought we'd see a little bit faster time.
I don't know why like short area quickness and the 40 are not like that co-linked in my mind.
It's absolutely not.
Like you can be a really smooth athlete in short areas and not run a great 40. I think what you saw with Jerry Ely, I think you probably would like to see him run faster, I suppose, but
because that's not game-breaking speed.
For me, he wasn't a guy. He didn't show that on the field anyway, did he? Really?
I thought he did. I'm surprised it was this slow, personally.
I thought he was a good space guy, but I don't remember him hitting a ton of huge plays. Like he had good plays.
Well, they used him in like end arounds and right passes. Like that's kind of like meant to get your speed and kind of get outside the defense. And
see, the way I look at that is it's meant to put you in a matchup with a guy one-on-one on the edge and let you go to work on him and have good sense as a runner and the ability to cut and stop and do all those things. So it doesn't like concern me. It doesn't like jump him. Again, it just doesn't change my opinion a whole lot. It's also not that bad of a time. 4.52 is like decent.
But that's the thing is like this guy's 184-pound like space running back, and he's middle of the pack with the 40. Like that is a little, to me, it's a little bit concerning because his game's in space and you want to see like I can beat a safety's angle and take some big plays to the house. That speed isn't there.
But what did you have? What did you have him before? Just like, did you? Really
I would have thought of it
like a guy who was.
No, I didn't like. I don't like the prospect either.
I didn't love the tape either.
No,
so
I mean,
I
liked it a lot more from 2020. He was sick in 2020. 2021, I think Snoop Connor, a guy who he kind of like he's a dog. Like the 40 time is not great, but that's not his game. He's just an absolute
hammer.
Tackles. Him and Zamire White work out together. Zamire White's obviously putting in a little bit more work than Snoop. Just kidding. Let's talk about a few more guys. One, Damien Pierce. They updated his time to a 4.59, so it was a 4.65. So you see that improvement. That's not. I'm not panicking on that. I thought he might have been a little bit faster. The one big guy you got to talk about is Kyren Williams because you saw in the film like this dude lacks that explosiveness, the athleticism. He's a good running back, like one of the best pure running backs in the class.
That's right. It always seemed like he had a good sense of how to run the ball right.
Yep, and the best pass protector in the class as well. Just an absolute he's a small guy, but he's great out of the backfield catching the ball, and he's very, very smart in picking up blitzers. But it's just like he's not a 3-down back. I don't think he has the juice. That's 4.65 kind of.
I mean, I suppose you could start to say like this gets into, and I'm not a big panic about combine times. Obviously, like a Jerry Neely doesn't matter to me much, but once you get into like the kind of you're like
this one
the slowest in the class, and
yeah, it hurt a little.
It does make you think a little like, okay, and all his production came out of when the O-line was great, and then it just went into the trash when the O-line
Tyler Algier ran 0.5 of a second faster than him. I mean, that dude's
huge.
Yeah, and then like Kyron Williams is 5'9", 190 pounds. So it's like,
and you're right. It didn't look fast at really any point either. It wasn't like
and the film didn't show it either.
A good get off and slowed down. It was so that I'll give you that like, okay, when you get down to the really kind of bottoms of the class, like you can maybe start to be concerned, if you will.
Isaiah Pacheco's really big for his time, by the way. He's like 220 pounds, I think. Like, that's pretty impressive for a running back, 220 pounds, around 4.37.
And if this will make people
people
give him another look.
Yeah, 216 pounds, like that's a pretty good size and speed. But he's a day 3 guy. If he's getting picked. Do you want to take a quick? Let's take a quick look at the verts first. Let's let this load. Breece Hall again, man. Like that's really good. That's a really good vertical. He's definitely saying, telling you, Breece the Beast. Like he is showing that I am an explosive guy. You might have not saw it on the film as much as you would have liked. He also plays on a grass field. He's been playing a fast track.
That's fair. That's like what people sleep like. But Kenneth Walker did too. In fairness, that was another slow grass.
Kevin Harris, a guy that I absolutely loved, had a horrible year. I don't think he's gonna get drafted. Pierre Strong again. He was a top performer on the day. Him and Breece Hall, I think, had really solid days. Kenny Walker with a solid 34, not necessarily panicking about that. And then let's get down because, again, Kyron Williams, bottom of the class in testing. Not as bad. And, again, it's a vertical. I'm not, like, freaking out about it.
But again,
did Isaiah Spiller run his 40? Because this is a bad vertical. Did he run a 40?
I didn't see a 40 for him. So
yeah, I didn't see it either. He's a guy that I worry about with the juice, too. Like, he's a good running back. I don't nearly have – people have him RB1. He's not – he might be RB4, but I'm not a huge fan of Isaiah Spiller.
Maybe another guy's maybe a better runner than an athlete kind of situation. But
yes, he's good at the position, and he's a big guy. I think he's like around 225.
But when you stack him up to a Breece or a Rashad White or a Kenny Walker, it's like
too, but yeah.
It's tough it is tough when you because that does start to like, okay, who has more horsepower, who played with more horsepower. Those two did, and obviously the combine bared out.
Zamire White, man, I'm just surprised he's testing that much. Like he's I'm not surprised, but because he also killed it in the broad. I think he had the top second, him and Jerry Neely with the tied for the best broad. Kevin Harris there again. Breece Hall up there again. And then I'm guessing we'll see Kyron Williams towards the bottom of the list. Isaiah Spiller and Kyron Williams, bottom tier, jumping. Again, not panicking about it. Let's check the bench real quick because just give some love to H2, 27 reps. Dude's going to be a 6 special teamer, man. He didn't run the 40.
Whoa. You just put more shade on my guy.
Slowly roll.
He's going to be a sick running back.
I think because you look at him.
Guy was dependable.
He's big, man. When he got up to bench, Hassan Haskins, Michigan running back, he's a big dude.
He's big.
And he showed it on the bench against Snoop Connor, a guy that you thought would bench a lot, did. Damien Pierce is yoked up. Like he's like just all muscle, so I'm not surprised. Not a lot of guys benched. That's pathetic, actually.
Yeah,
but I get it. Like if you're running the 40, maybe you don't want to get the chest muscles. Not that I know.
Breece Hall's not going to bench a guy. Like the top guys aren't going to bench anything that'll concern you. Probably they're not offensive tackles. So
let's take a quick look at the offensive line. We'll mostly look at the bench there. Zion Johnson again. Like that just helps. Like he's the best bench in the class at 32 reps. Has good length, 33 inch plus, I believe, arms. He's good, man. I think he's just solidifying a top 32 pick grade. He's gonna be a first round draft pick, and he's a plug and play guy on the interior. He's really good. Jamari Salyer, not surprised to see him have a good bench day. Just an absolute brick house. Look at him. Look at this dude. He's just a brick house.
Yeah, he just has power.
Cole Strange with a good bench because he looked like he was getting a little bit outmatched physically. So good to see him. And then you got Bernie.
That's like, I mean, I'm just having like, obviously I love his game. I think he could be really good. I'm surprised he put this much up on the bench. He's a longer, thinner guy, but that's a lot of weight.
That's that Eastern European strength, man. Cam Jurgens, a guy that was getting a lot of love. I heard he's like a not a mini Tyler Linderbaum, but like a Tyler Linderbaum Jr. in the sense like he does a lot of really good reach blocks.
Former tight end,
yeah. So he's,
which I think is good. I think there's a lot of the center positions moving away from the 6'3", 330-pound guy to a more athletic, like a Jason Kelsey and Mitch Morris.
Surprised to see Kenyon Green down there at 20 reps.
I am too, frankly. He looked more powerful.
That's what I'm thinking.
Another one that I don't care. It doesn't concern because you saw him mashing good players. But
does Zion Johnson get to the conversation of Kenyon Green when we're talking about interior offensive linemen? Who goes first?
He's just not. I think Kenyon Green's a better athlete, kind of straight up.
Kenyon Green's film was just disgusting. He's really good.
I don't think this certainly doesn't. I mean, you know where I stand. This isn't going to change it for me.
I wish a guy like Nicholas Petit-Frere bench because he's one guy that you didn't see the play strength. Like, he's a good athlete. He moves well. The technique can clean up. But, like, the play strength wasn't great. Like, Hutch was just absolutely dogging him. Yeah. I wish he benched just to show just a little bit of strength. And you didn't need to blow anything away. Just, like, 20-plus reps. Didn't bench. Maybe a little maybe a little bit concerning. I don't know.
It honestly depends on the reason. You never really know. But if it's like, I just think I'll do better at the combine, it's like your pro day, sorry. But I don't know. Part of you thinks maybe you want to see the compete. You want to see the, like, when it's kind of uncomfortable, step up and do it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then Bernie and Zion showing the explosiveness again with the vert. Zach Tom.
Tackle.
Shout out.
Sean Ryan, tackle.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of guard thing. Then I'm leaving that up to you.
Oh yeah. Have you?
I'm leaving that up to you and Rock. I'm not touching it. You guys can have that.
You've been hearing it from him.
The Big Ick, 29. That's solid. Solid for a big dog.
Ick looks awesome.
28.
Ick just looks like Icky Equiner. Just looks like such a good player. It's crazy.
Kenyon Green again, man. Bottom of the barrel with the testing. Charles Cross. It's all right. I'm not.
He ran a good 40 though. He's under 5 seconds.
I'm surprised Darian Kennard jumped over a foot, so that's good to see.
I guess to me, it's like, I mean, I'd never thought Charles Cross was wildly explosive.
No, he's not. And that's the biggest knock on him. That's like, he's easily the best pass protector in the class. But it's like, does he have
exploding out of a stance and driving guys around?
But he also didn't have those reps. Mississippi State very rarely runs like a power run scheme. Like they throw every down. So he didn't really have that, didn't really need to develop it. Nick Petit-Frere, bottom of the barrel. He stinks. Thayer Munford also stinks. Man, that is just like not getting up. I get you're a big dog, but like, sheesh, that's like you can't jump over a dime. Thayer Munford, man, he just had a horrible year.
That's such an interesting situation. He was so good in 2020 and then really struggled in 21. And
if you told me
I don't know what to make of that.
Jumps higher, and I get it's just like a fifth, like a half an inch. But like,
I'm a little surprised to see Petit-Frere because Petit-Frere looked athletic to me.
What did Darian Kennard weigh in, by the way? Because I know that was a kind of a thing.
You think he's going to be huge?
Well, I know, like, the teams are like, Daniel Falele, you're 388 pounds, like, buddy. Get it under control. 322, it's a good weight. I know he was playing around 345, so I heard he lost 25 pounds. He did. I like this dude, 35-inch arms. I'm optimistic that he can play right tackle. I think it's worth a shot. at right tackle. I think he's
I mean, they'll be able to figure it out pretty quick. I think, in the pros. But
let's take a look at the 40 just cause, and then we'll wrap it up. There, Rosenthal. He looks like a tight end out there. He's a lean dude. Trevor Penning.
Penning's an interesting.
Tyler Linderbaum didn't work out. He would have probably killed it.
Yeah, there's no reason for him.
The burn dog.
But
again, I'm not stressing about 50s unless you're just shockingly slow. Nobody was going 60.
I don't think there's anything crazy.
Like, you're telling me Darian Kennard runs faster than Thayer Munford? Like, that's nuts to me. That's crazy.
It's crazy that Thayer Munford was able to put it together in all Big Ten season. 1 year.
Yeah, we're not going to stress too much about the 40 there. I know the 10-yard split's kind of a big deal, but you're just seeing, like, all right, Charles Cross, get moving, kid. Jack Tom again, testing well. Ike Ekwonu, the big Ick. I'm not surprised because he's an explosive dude. He can fire out.
You look like he lost a little bit.
All right, let's wrap it up. Top three winners. Give me three losers. And if you don't have three losers, because I know you're not big into the combine, I have mine. Do you have yours?
Yeah, why don't you get yours? I mean, I don't like the guys who were bad were probably think you were going to be bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Breece Hall is probably one of the bigger winners just because, I'm not like vaulting him up over Kenny or anything, although it's closer than I have Breece Hall and Kenny closer than you do. But, like, he showed he has something in the tank. Kenny Walker also, like the 4.46, that's solid.
I think Zeus was a much bigger winner than either of them.
I agree.
Just because of where people are kind of, like, talking about them. It's they seem to be basically not athletic enough to play in the pros. Too big, too whatever.
Yeah, 4.4. He's running faster than Jahan Dotson.
Did well in the other things too. So I don't know.
And I think another winner. Okay, so we'll go Breece Hall, we'll go Zamire White, and then I'll maybe throw Zion Johnson with a good bench like that. 32s, that's strong.
I guess where we differ a little bit is like you're talking about top dogs. Like the top dogs don't win at the combine because.
But they solidify.
If they don't like lose if they don't run something crazy low, but if they don't, it's like, again, I get to it again, but Breece Hall, if he runs a 4.45 versus a 4.36 or 4.39, whatever he ran, it doesn't change my opinion a whole lot about it. It's kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, that helps for me a little bit because I also thought it was going to be around a 4.55. Like, I was like, okay, just run a sub 4.55, we'll be good. He runs faster than a lot of the wide receivers like that. I thought that was pretty impressive. And again, Zamire White in a similar boat. Like, let's just show that you got that. Let's show that you got the home run speed. He showed it. Two losers, I'll give you Kyren Williams, a bottom of the barrel and kind of the athletic explosive testing. Kind of confirmed the issues that you might have saw with him on film. I don't know if it drops him too far because, again, I think you knew that was a problem, but he didn't help himself.
Well, that's for sure.
And then, the two Ohio State guys. Maybe Mickey Mariotti needs the boot from Ohio State because that's not good.
Getting Josh Gaddis calling him soft or testing poorly.
Yeah, you guys are. It didn't like the trenches for Ohio State looked bad.
They did kill it yesterday, though.
The speed guys, but the trenches where it matters, where football's played, you got to slack it.
That is true.
Yeah, so those are probably the biggest losers. I say, like, I don't know. Petit Frere is like trying to fight to be like an early second round pick, and definitely didn't help himself. I would say definitely didn't help himself.
That's again how I look at it. Just like I don't think they helped, but I don't think it changes my opinion on them a whole lot.
Yeah, unless you're testing like really, really like concerningly bad.
I always kind of feel like I kind of take the Todd McShay. You got like bounds. You just don't want to be outside of the kind of bare minimum standards you kind of looking for. And I don't think either of them did that.
No, you personally hold the opinion that the combine doesn't matter, but there's a lot of people in the front offices in the NFL who care. Like that, like ththeir analytics guys, they want to see.
Well, it's what the NFL Network tells us.
Mike Mayock unarguably cares about the 40. Like that's where the game is played.
That's a tough example to use. He was the worst draft I've ever seen.
I just mocked the Raiders an hour ago, and I'm like, you're looking at the draft history, and like you guys are just like clueless.
Mike Mayock and John Gruden Might have been throwing darts at a board.
Yeah, I like the best story of them is like Linbo, and they draft him, and then they trade him. They trade him for a 5th-round pick next year. They draft him early 3rd. Trade him for the 5th-round pick in like a week. It's like, what was that? Like what? Like it was literally. I don't even think he was a Raider for a month. He didn't play a single snap for them. He went to
Mayak spent too much time commentating the draft or the combine exclusively, and he got fascinated by it, and it led to obviously just a vicious.
That's one thing you might want to say is like. You were good at tempering me where it's like the NFL, they're pushing views. They want to push ratings, and they're going to say like this is a big deal. They moved everything to like the night so they can get views. Like these numbers are, you saw a lot of guys didn't even work out. I think the most important stuff during combine week happens behind closed doors.
Yeah, we don't even know. We don't know who's winning.
Yeah, we don't really know the true winners. That's true. So again, that's a wrap. I'm excited for the edge guys to work out because I do think that's probably the position where the physical traits are the most important. Same thing with the cornerbacks. Can you keep up with some wide receivers? Can you just athletically beat the tackles in the edges case? So, and there's a couple linebackers who I'm really excited for tomorrow. Channing Tindall, we're seeing a 4.4 out of him. I'm very excited to see him run.
He's gonna fly.
Yeah, Leo Chanel too. Shout out. But yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow night with a day 3 breakdown. We might even go live for tomorrow during the edge workouts to see Hutch, Ajabo just absolutely slay it. But once again, appreciate you guys rocking with the ROC Boys. We'll be back with some more NFL draft content later. Peace, y'all.